So I just kind of, through high school, I was just going to parties. I was reckless. I would sneak out like almost every night. I'd meet up with guys. Like it was just the whole shebang, just a rebellion. And everyone that I was hanging out with were doing the same thing. So we were kind of just encouraging each other in that way. And
Yeah.
I had friends that we grew up in the church together and we went to the same church for like years. And we were doing the same thing like that the world was doing.
Right.
Like, and so many of my friends that I have grown up with, even in the church, and their parents are Christians and they come from Christian families, they are still like struggling too and just walking in the way of the world. And that's what we did. I feel like it was like a collective thing too. So, yeah, I was living that life and it just got it was just years of like mess. Like, so I lived like that when I was like 15 to like 19. Yeah, I lived like that. So it seems like it was a long time, but I guess it was only like 4 years that I was really living like that, chasing a high, like going from like, but it just kept getting like worse and worse and worse and like deeper and deeper. And like, I feel like you get to this point where you're just looking for anything to like fill a void that like what you used to fill with like the world before, like you have to now get more of that,
Mm.
like go deeper and deeper into it. And so what started off as like going to a party like once, like or just smoking weed once or like trying it for the first time, like just resulted into this like spiral of like doing it again, and then you do it every day, and it's like it just has that way of just like surrounding you, like just
Yeah.
bringing you down like that. So
That's good. We talked about like before we started recording, like I asked you, how you got into the new age, and it's like one thing leads to the next. It's a very slippery slope. Like the parties and the sleeping around then led to drugs, and the drugs led to harder drugs, and now psychedelics, and then the psychedelics open you to all these, really, I would consider them like demons. You think you're
it
experiencing
is.
spirits and stuff like this, but it's demons, and now they're teaching you stuff, and now you're getting into their teachings, which are tarot and more of those witchcraft sort of thought processes. So what seemed like a harmless, you're 15 going on to this journey, you're doing what your friends are doing, start sleeping around boys, parties. Next thing you know, you're full blown like into the new age witchcraft, tarot, psychedelic world, like out of nowhere. So yeah, slippery slope. What was your time like while in deep with the new age?
Okay, well, it happened out of just like I was searching. I was like just living that life and just also just sleeping around too, like does something to your mind. It just does something to your like soul that like I just felt like I had so much baggage. Like I had so much baggage from just sleeping around and like just doing drugs too, like just living that life, that I was searching for like relief. I was searching for healing. Like I knew that there was like something, like I knew that something was wrong. Like, and I just couldn't, like my life just kind of like hit like a roadblock. Like I grew up having all of these dreams and aspirations for myself, but when I got just into like drugs and partying, it just like really like all of my dreams went out the window. Like everything that I had envisioned for myself from a young age, like I had no direction. It just like stripped me of like any motivation. I dropped out of college, I crashed my car, like just things like that were like happening to me. And so, I'm just at this point and I'm just so like broken, like so devastated by just the guys that I was dating or whatever, just like all of that, just hooking up, and it was just so like empty. Like I just felt used. I just felt like um, just so hurt, and just dealing with guys that were like pretty much like got the Jezebel spirit on them. So
Yeah.
like I was, they call them narcissists, but I think they're like guys with like or people that have like Jezebel spirits.
Yeah,
But
amen.
yeah, so I was
Say
dealing
it.
with that, and I was like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what is my life? Like, this is not how the younger version of myself, like, as a child would have wanted for her. Like,
Mm,
if that little girl could see where I was at now, like, it was just, and I knew that, and I knew that, and I knew, like, in that moment. And so I went to, like, the crystal shops, and I just had a friend that was, like, just as broken as I was, and we would, we were searching. So we would go and we wanted to know, like, more about, it started with, like, astrology and, like, horoscopes. It
mm,
started there because I would, like, had CoStar, that app,
yep.
and, I just check it every day, and then I got another app, and I would, like, read my horoscope for, like, the whole year, and just, like, I just got, like, curious,
Yeah.
and, um and so that's when it really, like, trickled in through, like, wanting to know, like, my moon sign and, like, all of that, and then I just got, like, obsessed with it,
Yeah.
and I would, like, had to, like, read everyone else's chart, like, who I was, like,
Mhm.
with. I was like, "What's your, like, astrology
Yes.
chart?" And, like,
I
it just,
full on would, like, map it out, like, I was drawing them, like,
yeah,
showing where all the planets were, I got so into that. Something we also talked about before we started recording is, like, we consider this, our time in the new age. But
yeah,
now being in Christ and
mm,
being set apart from the rest of the world, it's becoming so obvious and clear to me that this is this is very mainstream. Like,
yeah,
this what we see as the new age, it's not even like this divided, like, cult group. No, this is like the ways of the world. Like,
mhm,
everybody is doing this, it seems like, the astrology and the crystals, and it's so normal in the media, in the music. It's just become
yeah,
so mainstream, like this big trend. And
mhm,
while I would like to think, like, when I first came to Christ, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like a new movement," but then I realized, no, this is modern day paganism.
yes,
It's the same stuff that's been going on for thousands of years, but the
yeah,
way Satan makes it new and sparkly is by changing it a little bit to fit the culture.
mm,
So it seems
mm,
like a new, like, pop culture thing, but no, it's
yeah,
the same paganism that's been going on forever.
mm. Wow, yeah. It's he just, he can't create anything, so he has to, like, you know,
Yeah.
make things seem, deceive people, really.
New and shiny, yeah.
Yeah, and it really was, like, an aesthetic. It was, like, an aesthetic, like, I started wearing, like, evil eyes, and, like,
Mhm.
crystals were just, like, it looked so promising. Like, it looked so, like, "Oh, this is, like, real." Like, I think this is what I was searching for, and I finally found it. That's what it felt like to me
Yeah, me
when
too.
I was like, "Wow, I just found this whole new world, like, this is what I needed." It was like
Yeah.
false, it's like the false gospel, really.
Yeah, and I think it's too because we're all seeking, like, we all want God, we all want healing. I would like to say that, I believe we were all designed to seek that, but then when you're not ready to, like, walk the narrow path, it's easy to go into the new age path.